What's up, everybody? Thanks for clicking on the video and supporting the channel. Today we're going to install a new dash cam in my wife slash son's car. It already has a dash cam in it, but it's the old U1000 from Thinkware. I'm going to upgrade it to the U3000 from Thinkware. It's got some new advanced technology with their apps and a built-in radar, so you get rid of one of the extra modules that was beside the U1000. And some other things that I'll talk about. So let's get started. Okay, so let's open the box and I'll show you what all comes in it so you kind of know what's going to go where, what have you. So first thing you come across is the dash cam itself. Like I mentioned before, it comes with the radar, which was a little round module that would mount right beside of it. So you have your dash cam. Then there's a bag with the rear camera, which is a little cylindrical, and it mounts in the back windshield, and we'll run a wire from the dash cam here to it. The ODB2 port, that's such a tongue twister. Then if you wanted to use a cigarette lighter plug, here's the hard wiring for it to use a cigarette lighter, but with the OBD2 port, gosh, tongue twister. That's how you can use the radar function, and I'd highly suggest using it. Then inside is the cable that goes to the rear view camera. A plastic pry tool, and the little black sticker is a heat shield. It will go on to the glass, and then you'll put the mount on top of it, and it protects the electronics against the heat shield. And then an SD card, and like I said, it's a what does it come with? Bear with me. 64, but I got a 256. So we'll save that for later. Extra tape for the dash mount for when you will need to change it or anything like that. And there's little plastic, I'll call them brackets, that'll hold the wiring and what have you. And then there's a blue filter that keeps some of the sunlight out and it gives a better picture for the dash cam. So all of that is what's included. So it's basically a turnkey solution other than the memory card. Like I said, I'd suggest upgrading that one so that you got more storage on there. With saying that, even though it's a 64, you would have the same amount. Let me reword that. The thing continuously records, and then when it gets full, it goes back to the beginning and overwrites the original recordings. So with a bigger card, you would have much more data to use if you need it. So it's not necessary, but it's always a plus. And what we're going to do is install the front camera first, and it's going to go in the center, slightly below all my other cameras for the car, because this car has cameras in it as well. And then we're going to run the wire up this, use those clips to seal it to this, and then I'm going to remove this A-pillar covering. The airbag's behind it, so make sure you're very, very careful. Don't even look at it the wrong way. And run the wire down the A-pillar through the circuit breaker area fuse area down to the floorboard. Then I'll remove all of the panels that are down here and run that wire that's going to the rear camera to the rear window. And that'll sum it up. Okay, so all right, so now that we're going to start installation, the first thing I'm going to need to do is pry that out, because behind there is a bolt, and it is, in my case, a 5/16. And I'm going to use a nut driver. So you don't want to over torque it or tighten it or be too rough on it, because again, there's an airbag behind it and it's only holding on a piece of plastic. So I'm going to put my bolt down in that cup holder to make sure I don't lose it. And then I'm going to pull this molding out, because that's what's holding that plastic in. it should pull right out as it did. So as you can see, there's your airbag. Hello, Mr. Airbag. I'm not here to do anything to you, not here to make you angry. I'm going to put a wire behind you, and I'm not even going to touch you because I know you're an explosive device. So that's my word to the wise. And then I'm going to take all the other panels off here so that I can run the wires down. But before I do that, I can go ahead and mount everything so I can do it in segments, in sections, if you will, to get it done as efficiently as possible. So I'm going to want to clean the windshield, where the sticker is going to go, the heat shield sticker I told you about, and the mount, and then I'm going to get all the wires put together that I'll use to wire up the dash cam, hardwire it. Then I'm probably going to put some wire loom on that to make it nice and neat so it'll tuck easy into this. And so I'm going to want to take, I'm going to want to put the wire up in there, and luckily for me there is play, as you can see here, to shove it in there and it'll pop back into place. So I'm lucky there. In some cars you may have to pop that off, and there'll be a screw there to loosen it, and that'll release the tension on the roof panel, so that you can get the wires up there, because you don't want the wires up here just mounted to the glass or zip tied up there somehow. Just tuck it up in there nice and neat and it'll be fine. And then you're going to run it behind the airbag so that in the unlikely event and the unfortunate incident of it deploying, the wire doesn't get in the way. And there's a channel here you can run down and go all the way down behind the dashboard and the fuse panel. That is going to be my route for the Honda Accord. Ironically, I got another video installing this in my truck. It's the same thing there. So I'd venture to say it'd probably be the same in your car. So I've cleaned the windshield where the dash cam is going to go. The next step that I need to do is this heat blocking film. This is a new addition from the U1000 up to the U3000. This is that I watch a lot of dash cam videos, and one of the things that I see is that at the point of impact, the suction cup versions and what have you, and some of the lighter tape ones, they fly off and then you're going to lose all your footage. This has got the 3M heavy duty tape on it, so it's going to stay. In fact, what presented the opportunity to this is I had a big rock chip in my windshield that cracked the whole windshield, and I had to replace it. And I use Safe Light, which shout out to them, they're incredible, but that's a whole different story. But they literally have to scrape this off the windshield to get it off. So, and then there's 3 fingers that once it slides in, it kind of locks in place, so it's heavy duty stuck. So you're going to mount it up there on the halfway point, and this is going to go, you want it to go kind of like that so that the heat shield is protecting this part as well. So it covers the entire square of the electronic, so that it kind of prevents any extra heat from getting in it. So let's do that. Just to put it up there. Now I'm not going to tightly put it, I'm just going to hang it, because then you can use a credit card or what have you, but luckily I have a squeegee here for wallpaper so I don't have any air bubbles. There's my heat shield. So your first instinct is to go up high and what have you, but it's going to plug into the back of it and it'll make it tight with the wires hitting against this plastic part. The other thing is there's a band of lights here that tell you that you're connected to the GPS, that you're recording, and that you've got hooked up to Bluetooth/Wi-Fi, and the colors in the Bluetooth Wi-Fi tell you one or the other. And then there's buttons here if something you want to record, like for example, you see an accident and you want to be a good pedestrian and hit the record and give it to the authorities and or the person that had the accident. There's a record button here, then the power button, and then a manual button to tap into the Wi-Fi, and the final button is a microphone which cuts the voice recording on and off. And you can do all of that in the app as well. Next step is placing the dash cam. So we got it all mounted. It is snug as a bug in a rug. So I'm going to turn my mirror kind of over there so I can get to the wiring and what have you. So there's your OBD2 port plug, and that'll plug right into it to provide power to the dash cam as needed. So I'm going to kind of wrap that up into my hand just to keep that, put it in the door here so I get it all free from what I'd be out of my way. So there's the power cord. And I'll take my rear camera cord, put it in the door panel too to keep it separated. And on the imprinted embossed, or whatever you want to call it, has an F for front of the car, R for rear or rear camera, and then also there's a sticker right here that says front, so that you know that they're directional cables, so you know you got it the right direction. And then I'll plug that in to the camera slots. I'm gonna get some wire loom tape and we'll do that. So I know that I need to try to keep them, instead of stacking them, I need them to be side by side so it makes it as skinny as possible. So the first thing that you want to do is go up here and then set your distances and placement of the cable as efficiently as possible. See, I'm going to go to the left, so I needed to go above the wire cable, the rear camera cable. So now I know if I tape these right here together like that, my length is going to be right, and so I can unplug them now. Like I said, I want them to be parallel, so it's as neat as possible. Yes, that's a little more OCD probably than some people, but hey, accept who you are, right? Okay, so as you can see, I've wrapped the wires so they're nice and neat together in one form. So like I said, I want to come up right through here and around so that I'm not even near the airbag. So there's a set of wires right here. I want to kind of come under to help retain the wire into that channel here. So pull that, and I want to plug it in, both plugs. Oh. Okay, and around. And I'm going to pry it up into there. But I want to get it flat. You remember how I said make sure you're keeping it flat. So that way you're not compressing it, the ceiling any. You're getting all up in there. Take your tool. There's a little lip right here and you don't want to break it. And you get up in there. Now everything's tucked in there nice and neat. They got slack. There we go. So the next thing you want to do is, in the kit, there are some little hooks, if you will. You can see them. They're wire hooks. So I'm going to pull that down just a hair. I could get some better grip here. And they'll slide right onto the thing. And I'm actually going to stick it instead of to the plastic, because behind there's the cameras, and if I ever have to have maintenance on those said cameras, I don't want to have to redo my hooks, so I'm going to do it onto the glass. You get 3 of them, so you know, let's save one. I'd use 2 in the front and 1 in the back, just in case. And you probably get these on Amazon too if you need more. Onto the glass. Hold it for just a minute so that it'll bite. And now I'm wrapped all the way around my corner, and it looks factory installed. So I'm going to get some zip ties and zip tie it to the factory wiring harness. It's up here. To stay behind that wire harness there so it doesn't interfere at all with the airbag. I'm going to turn it in so that it's nowhere near the airbag. Okay, so now that we've finished up the install, just to go over again, all of these plastic pieces right here, they literally just pull right off, and there's little round automotive fasteners that pop in and out. So be careful on them. They could snap, but they're pretty durable. I ran that cable down through there, down through that channel, right underneath the B-pillar plastic, and then coming around here, picking back up from the B-pillar underneath this plastic covering right here where it says Accord, up the panel. You'll take this rubber out. It just pulls out real easy, and it can slide right in behind the seat. But the seat also pulls, this little bolster pulls out too, but it may be different in your car. And like I said before, there's little plastic parts right here, but be careful of the airbag. And you can run the cord over to the center and to the center camera in the rear. And that's pretty much it. So it's pretty easy, and they all snap right back into place. And then you put your fuse panel box cover back on. And then inside, I put the cover back on and then use that same wrench to put the bolt back in. And if you noticed in some of the other images, I had gotten some grease on the covering here, this plastic. Little trick is WD-40 takes all of that off without leaving any residue on and cleans it up, looks brand new. Then Windex the window to clean up all of the fingerprints that you'll have, and she's completely mounted. Well, that concludes another video of Carlisle Projects. I want to thank you for hitting the video, and also want to strongly encourage you again to get a dash cam. They're very, very, very helpful in protecting your financial well-being in the future. And the reason I say this is because there's a lot of he said, she said battles going on in car accidents, hit and runs, things of that nature. So if you would have a dash cam, where it's helped me in the past is I was involved in a hit and run, and instead of me having to pay the deductible to get my car fixed under hit and run insurance, I was able to capture the license plate of the person that hit me, file a police report against them, and then also file an insurance claim against their insurance. So not only did their insurance take very good care of me and fixing my car, it didn't cost me a dime. So there are instances of where that would help you, or if you're driving down the road and you see someone else that's in a car accident, you could give the video off of your dash cam to give them to help them the same way that you would want to be helped if you didn't have a dash cam. So it's goes to the old saying, do unto others as you want them to do unto you. So try to live my life that way, and I do the same for someone else. So if you have any questions about the install, the dash cam, or anything of that nature about the video, hit the comments below, and please remember to hit that subscribe button too, and the like if this was a good video for you, so that the algorithm will know that we're doing some good things. But thanks again for hitting the video, and have a great day.